This is Maria, watching Christ Hype Magazine. This is my reality. Just wanted to share something about what I did the other day. I was on my way to work and took the train, and I hadn't eaten breakfast. I was kind of hungry, and so I take the train. It takes me about maybe 15 minutes to get where I'm going, and I get off and I go to the main street level, and I see Burger King. So I'm like, I'm gonna go get some breakfast. But in the back of my mind, something was telling me that I needed to feed somebody that morning. So I go to Burger King. I see, walking up towards the building, and I see a gentleman smoking a cigarette. He was homeless, and he had a shopping cart. It was really early in the morning. It was probably about 6 o'clock, or maybe a little after 6 o'clock. So, I seen him, and I thought to myself, I'm going to buy this gentleman some breakfast. And so, I go in there, and not right away, I didn't buy it right away, but it was in my mind to buy him something to eat. And so I ordered my food, and then waiting for my order, and then I said, man, I have to get this, this food. I need to feed somebody this morning. And that man, I kept thinking about him. So I ordered the breakfast sandwich, and I had ordered it, paid a little extra dollar and something for it. And so I look out the window, and I'm like, where'd the guy go? He was, he like disappeared on me. And I was like, wow, he's gone. I'm looking left, right, all over the place. It was like he just kind of vanished. And, where he was at, all of a sudden this bus was there, and people were, I think they were getting on the bus, probably going, because it was early, so they probably were taking a shuttle to work or whatever. And so I didn't see the guy. So, I went out and left, was walking out the door. So I seen this other gentleman across the street, and it looked like he had been folding up a sleeping bag from sleeping on the ground all night. And so I'd seen him, and I walked up to him, and I was like, hey, have you had breakfast this morning? And he's like, no, I haven't. And I said, okay, well, I have something for you. And so I gave him the breakfast sandwich, and he's like, what's your name? And I told him my name, and he just looked at me like nobody's ever did something nice to him before. And he's like, thank you so much. And I was like, God bless you. And so I walked off, and I was still kept thinking, maybe I should feed somebody else. But then I said, no, eat your breakfast. I think you did what you needed to do for the day, your kind gesture for the day. But my whole story, and what I'm saying is, it all started when I got up, and I was like, I wanted to do something for somebody. But when I seen the man in the cart, I intended to buy him the breakfast. But what I think happened is God used that man to help keep that idea in my mind about feeding somebody that needed to be fed, that was hungry and homeless and didn't have anything. And when I seen the second gentleman, I think that's the person who I was originally buying the sandwich for, only I didn't know that, because when I gave it to him, he just was like kind of seemed like disbelief that somebody bought him breakfast, and was doing something nice for him that morning. And he just looked really grateful for it, and kind of tells you how God works in them mysterious ways of getting us to do things. Maybe that you're thinking you're going to get it for this one person, but it actually was meant for somebody else. That was just the trigger to get you to think that I'm going to do this, and you do it, but then you didn't do it for that person. It was originally meant for this other person. So God kind of works in his weird ways when it comes to feeding people, doing a kind gesture for somebody out of your heart, and it made me feel good after I had given it to him, because I felt good about, helping somebody out that morning that really needed that help. He probably didn't have any money to eat. He probably was trying to figure out, how am I going to get something to eat? How am I going to get something to drink? You know, um, and he didn't seem like a man that was like on drugs or anything. And because sometimes I do tend to judge people when I shouldn't, but I don't like to sometimes do things for people that are under the influence and all that. But then at the same time, whatever they're under, it's the devil that has control of their life. And sometimes that shouldn't even matter if they're on drugs or drunk. They're still homeless. They don't have anybody. And it's just about just being kind to people, and not judging them for, how they look or what they're under the influence of, because they all still need that love and that help. And he could have been a person that was a Christian and was down on his luck, and God was using me to help feed him that morning. He could have said his prayers last night before he went to sleep on that hard concrete, and woke up to somebody, bringing him breakfast. And he probably hadn't had that in a while. So, but I seen he was grateful. It made me feel good. And, sometimes it's good to go with your first mind, especially when it's a good, kind gesture that you want to do for somebody. Don't let the devil knock those thoughts out of your mind to just walk past people and not help them. If you can, you should help them in any way that is possible, even if it's giving them a quarter or a dollar, or feeding them, or maybe buying them a soda or something. They're thirsty, or water, juice, whatever it is. You know, always do a kind gesture for somebody, um, when it's in your mind, because once you have made the choice to do the kind gesture, and you've taken action on it, you're gonna feel so fulfilled from that, and it's gonna make you feel good on the inside, and then as your day's going on, you're gonna be thinking about that you just helped somebody, and no matter what it is, big or small, God sees everything. And He knows what your heart is, and how when you're giving somebody, that you're doing it from your heart. Um, just don't think that, oh, if I give him this, he's gonna go do this with it. It shouldn't matter, because what you're doing it from the kindness of your heart. Whether he ate it or sold the sandwich again, which I doubt, but regardless of it, you're doing a kind gesture. Excuse me. And doing a kind gesture for somebody, and you're helping them out. I had a good day that day when I did that, because I went with my first mind when I said I'm going to feed somebody this morning. I didn't want to be a selfish person, and I'm really not a selfish person. But sometimes people are rushing to work. They don't want to take some time to do one little thing, because they're trying to rush, and all their mind is on doing this or doing that. But it's never on trying to rush and feed somebody who's hungry or homeless, or trying to help them out. Rushing around to do all this other stuff, when you should take some time out to try to help somebody out. Um, yeah, so just keep that in mind. Um, Try not to judge people if they look hungry and they're on the street, and they're sleeping on the hard concrete. That's a tough life to live. And we all deserve to have somebody do something kind for us to make us feel good for the day. So just kind of think about what God would do in situations like that. And He would say to feed the hungry, feed the homeless. And I can't see Him saying anything else, or wanting us to do anything else, besides follow His word. You also got to follow your heart and what it's telling you sometimes. This is Maria. You're watching Christ Type Magazine. This is my reality. I hope this kind of helps other folks think about helping people. Try not to judge them, because we tend to do that as human beings, is judge other people, and that's not our job. But if somebody looks like they're down on their luck, try to help them if you can, if you have the capability. When I bought that food, I barely had any money that day. I wasn't even, I don't think I had like $7 in my pocket. But I still, with my last little few change that I had, maybe I had $10 or something. But my last little few change, I bought this sandwich that I was intended for another man, and he was gone, and I gave it to the person who actually really needed it. So, again, I hope this helps somebody. Do something nice for somebody. You don't got to do it every day, but if we all pitch in to help people, I think it will make this world a better place. Again, Maria, Christ Hype Magazine. God bless you, and help somebody out.